The assignment should be submitted prior to the spring break. The website is designed to be highly interactive. There are 3 separate assignments for this module. Effective presenters make eye contacts with the audience. The chief industries are weaving leather, making dyeing and working in iron and pottery. Students should take advantage of the online help system before approaching the lecturers. Before attending the lecture, you must register online or by post. Please click the logo above to enter the site. Young children need education and organized activities. Any textual references you make should be cited appropriately in the footnotes.
The difficult teacher is always responsible for the contribution to student marks. By using the student identification card, you can borrow books from the library. The topic for discussion is usually related to the topic for a speech. The university offers facilities to students and staff. Please remain seated after finishing your exam. The brain is our central computer of our bodies. The exam will start on time. Please prepare yourself. Read the safety instructions before using the equipment during the workshop. We all know there are more important things in life than the rat race. I was young and inexperienced and going too fast in wet weather.
It is quite clear that further research is required. Global warming is a threat to economic growth. Exercise is important for mental and physical health. Services are rapidly growing in parts of the global economy. Cells are the basic building blocks of all animals and plants. You cannot leave the examination center until you complete the form. Introduce your staff thoughtfully into all aspects of the unit. Car permits are available to students and staff. If you need help, let me know because I am here. It is very important to wear masks during this pandemic.
Australia is the first AIDS-free country in the world. Library timings are between 4 to 10, and you can register yourself online. The faculty staff are very approachable, helpful and extremely friendly. The gap between the rich and the poor does not decrease. Students have the options to live in college residences or apartments. We have 3 distinctive libraries which are nationally acclaimed. Parking permits can be collected through the Student Service Office. Please don't forget to check your email for the updates of the week. Tuesday sessions will last for approximately 2 hours. We should focus on innovation, and if we don't, we are bound to lose out.
Many industries have moved to the countryside where manufacturing costs are lower. Everyone should get access to art galleries no matter where they live. Until you complete the form, you cannot attend. There's too much information on this topic. Presentation skills are important to both universities and workplaces. Major sports on campus include rugby, soccer, and tennis. It is clear that the effects of climate change will damage the world economy. The framework will help pose more research questions systematically. The light can be seen as waves or particles. Experience would be an advantage for this managerial role.
Students only can select one subject from biology and math. The library is located on the north side of the campus. Today, I'd like to talk a little bit about the other theories that can explain the variations in climate. Good research presents many benefits to the real people. You should include your name and identity number in the registration form. Half of the marks in mathematics are allocated to the correct working. What is the most effective way of interaction between teachers and students in class? The development in the information technology has greatly changed the way people work. We can meet in my office after the lecture. The sports team members often practice on weekdays and play games on weekends.
You need to read the chapter before the management class. Talented people do special marketing. The course will be tested at the end of the semester. Biographical information should be removed prior to the publication of the results. The United States is the largest chocolate manufacturing country. Children are not allowed to be in the laboratory at any time. If you forget your passport, you need to contact the student center. The quality of our accommodation is high, but it is still affordable for students. Can you help me complete this new questionnaire that the university asks for? Many people approached and were eager to help, but he didn't want their help.
Public speaking is one of the qualities they were seeking among the candidates. You will probably need to find the nearest post office to be able to access that service. You need a valid visa letter from the department to join the workforce. The renewable energy alternatives were the main aspect of debate during the meeting. Are you supposed to complete the assignment without any help from others? During an official ceremony, a memorandum of understanding was signed by the academic dean. Gravity is extraordinarily weak and nearly impossible to study directly at a quantum level. Please be careful when using online translation programs. All course materials will be posted online. The course comprises 20 hours of lectures, seminars and tutorials each week.
To get further extension, you need to call the education executive on 401. Professor Gordon just called me a few minutes ago. Sea levels are expected to rise during next century. Her father prevented me from talking to her. There wouldn't be any space for me in the car. Read the fitness center instructions before attempting to use the equipment. The books are filled with drawings of machines invented when he was a student. Financial support can be offered to help pay your fees and other costs. Our tutorial will take place on the second floor in room 1. The library offers group study rooms, so you can work with other students.
Proficiency in a foreign language may be demonstrated by assessment. The burning of fossil fuels leads to pollution and global warming. I think we can all agree that being fluent in 2 languages is a good thing. – 85% of people say they fear speaking in public. When we are stressed, our skin releases a natural chemical, a hormone, that repels mosquitoes. People tend to be least happy in middle age. I think of those leaders who inspire us to go beyond the call of duty. If you want to receive the reimbursement, you must submit the original receipts. Please read the first 5 chapters to prepare for next week's tutorial. I will be in my office every day from 11 to 12.
Being a vegan means not consuming any animal products. I would like an egg and tomatoes on white sandwich bread with orange juice. Applicants for the course preferably have a degree in English or journalism. Opposition to the government tax policies is widespread across business sectors. Residence hall is closed prior to the academic building closing time in the semester. Companies' projects must adapt to the general data protection regulations. The health center is situated at the corner of the university behind the library. The cafeteria closes soon, but the snack machine is accessible throughout the night. The puppets do comedy routines, and there is some terrific formation dancing. Only those who are over 18 years of age are eligible to open a bank account in our bank.
Ideally, free trade is beneficial to both trading partners. All applications of internship are available in the office. The geographic assignment should be submitted by the midday of Friday. Robert Frost thinks the rural area is livable for people in New England. This is how we deliver healthcare to millions of people over the world. In English, the first letters of the months of the year are always capitalized. A thorough bibliography is needed at the end of every assignment. I'm glad you arrived here with safety. Contemporary critics dismissed his idea as eccentric. The translator is not available in our department.
My laptop is crashed and cannot save any file. Your tutor is there for help, so do ask if you don't understand anything. You can only choose one subject from biology and chemistry. You are required to submit the assignment before Friday. We are required to submit the assignment before Friday. They have enough works to keep them going. The United States has developed a coffee culture in recent years. The Lecture Theatre 1 is located on the ground floor of the PAC building. The bookstore is located on the main campus behind the library. In this library, the reserve collection of books can be borrowed for up to 3 hours.
Essays with few or no citations will raise the concern of the lecturers. The number of company bankruptcies skyrocketed in the third quarter. Our capacity to respond to national needs will determine our ability to flourish. In my free time, I would like to read current affairs and newspapers. Negative discourse continues to be predominant in discussions about gender. The competency of the language in the assignment is to use more formal words. In the dark, before the dawn, the plane was assembled. Lots of students had money and passports stolen, especially at night. The books reserved in the library can be borrowed for up to 3 hours. His objection to including scientific evidence has brought a lot of criticisms to him.
Newspapers across the world reported stories of presidents. Internet provides unusual opportunities for students in current events. Children can share their lunch at around noon. The university has a number of travel scholarships that students can apply for. We are so dependent on the computer that we cannot live without it. I don't like cheese and tomato sandwiches on white bread and orange juice. As she doesn't speak the language, she's not going to sit around and wait for a translator. To answer such a complex question with a simple yes or no is absolutely impossible. Fishing is a sport and a means for surviving. Arteries carry oxygenated blood from the heart to other parts of the body.
Since the problems we face are global, we need to find the global solutions. Many of the university's original buildings are still in use. We will see if we can get through this without too many interruptions. We will study the following two pictures in the next lecture. Companies are aiming to earn the money, not to change the society. We need to read the first 5 chapters to prepare for next week's tutorial. It is good for the environment, also good for your electricity bill. As a student union member, we can influence the change of the university. Animals grow larger and stronger to help them to hunt better. The new English class will start next Monday morning.
The generic biology technology lab is located at the north wing of the library. Don't hesitate to email me if you have any questions. She feared becoming an object of ridicule. The timetable will be posted on the website before the class starts. Students should book a library tour on the first week of the first semester. Since the problems we face are global, we need to find the relative solutions. In 1880, cycling became a major phenomenon in Europe. The hypothesis on black hole is rendered moot as the explanation of the explosion. Care needs to be taken for vulnerable groups during the periods of turmoil. The exam results will be available next week on course website.
The older equipment has been put at the back of the building. The Genetic Biology Technology Lab is located at the north wing of the library. Expertise in particular areas distinguishes you from other graduates in a job interview. Make sure the financial director knows the full details of the pay agreement. Students are competing for every place in the computer courses. Our School of Arts and Technology accepts applications at all points throughout the year. There are a range of housing options near the university. All sources of materials must be included in your bibliography. Negative discourse continues to be predominant in discussion of gender. She told the faculty to be very supportive.
Many undergraduate students go back home to stay with their parents after graduation. Essays with few or no citations will be regarded as invalid. "39.5% of Californian residents do not speak English at home. Nearly half of television outputs are given away for educational program. The minimum mark for distinction grade is no less than 75%. Number the beakers and put them away until tomorrow. Organic food is grown without applying chemicals, and the process is without artificial additives. You can only choose one subject from biology and media. If you want to sell all your books, it must have a list of bibliography. The Student Service Center is located on the main campus behind the library.
I don't understand what the comment of my essay means. The United States has the maximum production of chocolate. A renowned economist is selected to have a speech tonight at 8. Arteries carry blood from heart to the other parts of the body. Today, we will be discussing the role of government in preventing injustice. We didn't have any noticeable variance between the 2 or 3 tasks. You should inquire about the direct deposit. The search for universal explanations plays an important role in the development of archaeological theory. Higher fees make students think more critically about what universities can offer. We are constantly looking for ways to bring industry and agriculture closer together.
Environmental friendliness is a new category in which campuses are competing. She is an expert of the 18th century French literature. History is not a simple collection of dates and events. Newspapers across the world are reporting stories of presidents. Student loans are now available for international students. By clicking this button, you agree with the terms and conditions of this website. Physics is a detailed study of matter and energy. All lectures handouts are downloadable on the university website. This small Indian state is a land of forests, valleys and snowy islands. I'm glad you got here safely.
Globalization has been an overwhelming urban and urbanization phenomenon. You should include your name and identification number on the registration form. The wheelchair lift has been upgraded this month. The visiting professor is going to give a lecture on geology. The office opens on Mondays and Thursdays directly following the freshman seminar. The inherent tension between these two features remains to be addressed. The first few sentences of an essay should capture the reader's attention. The course registration is open in early March for new students. The author expressed an idea that modern readers inevitably cannot accept. The aesthetic implications of this study have not yet been fully explored.
Sport is the main cause of traumatic brain injuries in the United States. The residence hall is closed prior to the closing time of the academic building at the end of the semester. Reserve collection books can be borrowed for up to 3 hours. Put the knife and fork next to the spoon near the edge of the table. Please finish all the reading chapters before the field trip. Most of the assignments should be submitted on the same day. Meeting with tutors could be arranged for students who need additional help. Journalism is the collection and publication or transmission of news. It's time to finalize the work before the Wednesday seminar. I will be in my office every day from 10 to 12.
Elephant is the largest land-living mammal. Don't forget to hand in your assignments by the end of next week. The context includes both the land history and the human history. Basketball was created in 1891 by a physician and a physical instructor. All undergraduate students should participate in the seminar. A computer virus has destroyed all my files. A computer virus has destroyed all my files. Your watch is fast, you need to reset it. You can pay using cash or a credit card. It is good for the environment, also good for your bill.
Please do not bring food into the classroom. Please pass the handouts along to the rest of the people in your row. To measure distance could take as much as 3 weeks. I expect a long and stagnant debate for a week or two on this issue. Proteins constitute at least 30% of the total mass of all living organisms. A science-based approach is vital for effective advancements. The gap between the rich and the poor did not decrease rapidly as expected. The professor will be the last speaker this evening. We would like a first draft of the assignment by Monday. Number the beakers and put them away.
Our university has strong partnerships with industry as well as collaborative relationships with government bodies. What distinguishes him from others is the dramatic use of black and white photography. Organic food is grown without being applied chemicals or artificial additives to. Meeting with mentors can be scheduled for students who require additional support. The US ranks 22nd in foreign aid, given it as a percentage of GDP. He is almost never in his office. Leading scientists speculate that numerous planets could support life forms. That country's economy is primarily based on tourism. The study of archaeology requires intensive international fieldwork. The television output is giving evidently educational programming.
She doesn't even care about anything but what is honest and true. High fees cause the student to look more critically at what universities offer. During that period, heavy industry grew rapidly in the north of the country. The lecture management in Japan will take place in the week 7. Hemoglobin carries oxygen from lungs to other parts of the body. You can retake the module if your marks are too low. Please explain what the author means by sustainability. Hypothetically, insufficient mastery in the areas slows future progress. In our city, students have access to 13 college libraries. Our class is divided into 2 groups. You come with me, the others stay here.
Please write your name on essay cover sheet. You must complete this chapter before going to the field trip. Would you prepare some PowerPoint slides with appropriate graphs? We need to hand in our assignments by the end of this week. We are delighted to have Professor Robert to join our faculty. Try to explain how your ideas are linked so that there is a logical flow. There is varying plagiarism across different university departments. There is no entrance fee for tonight's lecture. The thoughts never cross my mind. The seminar will now take place a week on Tuesday.
The seminar on writing skills has been cancelled. The research paper should begin with a thorough review of the literature. The psychology department is looking for volunteers to be involved in research projects. The clear evidence between brain events and behavioral events is fascinating. The bookshop is located at the North of Main campus. Several copies must be supplied to the university department to fulfill the requirement. The agricultural sector in that country has been heavily subsidized. Students will not be given credits for assignments submitted after the due date. Students should take advantage of the online resources before attending the lecture. Students must observe lab safety regulations at all time.
She was always here, but today she is missed. On this project, you will be asked to work as a group of 3. Meteorology is a detailed study of Earth's atmosphere. John went rushing off down the corridor. It is important to take gender into account when discussing the figures. In Europe, the political pressure is similar regarding globalization. If you forgot your student number, you should contact Jenny Bryce. I didn't understand the author's point of view on immigration. Every year, students pass biology course easily. Answering such a complex question with a simple yes or no is absolutely impossible.
A preliminary bibliography is due the week before the spring break. The topic next week on colonialism will be the nuclear disarmament. The library is located at the other side of the campus behind the student center. Residence hall is closed prior to the academic building closing time in the semester. A demonstrated ability to write clear, correct and concise English is bigotry. Many students are so scared of writing essays because they never learned how. Many health workers think that pensioners are too old to understand. In consultation with your supervisor, your thesis is approved by the faculty committee. There will be open book exams on Monday the 28th. The program depends entirely on private funding.
Basketball was created in 1891 by a physician in physical structure. The first person in space was from the Soviet Union. People with an active lifestyle are less likely to die early or to have a major illness. I could not save my work as my computer got crashed. I was overwhelmed with too much irrelevant information. Interpreters are not readily available in this department. To understand its entity, we need to go back to its origin. The tutor is there for help, so do ask if you don't understand anything. Biographical information should be removed before the publication of the results. Anatomy is the study of internal and external body structures.
The verdict depends on which side was more convincing to the jury. The interaction of climate change and soil degradation will probably aggravate conditions. Unfortunately, the two most interesting economic electives clash on my timetable. All the assignments should be submitted by the end of this week. Even with the permit, finding a parking spot on campus is still impossible. She has been in the library for a long time. The original Olympic Games were celebrated as religious festivals. The real reason for global hunger is not the lack of food, but poverty. Students who require assistance. Being a vegan means not eating any meat.
Eating too much can lead to too many health problems. Remember to sign the attendance register before leaving the lecture hall. .5% California residents don't speak English at home. .5% California residents speak a language other than English at home. The minimal mark for distinction is 75%. You should include your name and identification number in the application form. The glass is not the real solid because it doesn't have crystal structure. Students are afraid of writing an essay because they have learned nothing about it. The professor has promised to put his lecture notes online. Just wait a minute, I will be with you shortly.
Student services provide help with housing and transport. The original Olympic game is one kind of original festival. Rules about breaks and lunchtime vary from one company to another. Company exists for money, not for society. Acupuncture is a technique involved in traditional Chinese medicine. Knives and forks should be placed next to the spoon on the edge of the table. A periodical is a publication that is issued regularly. New York City is famous for its ethnic diversity. The mismatch between the intended and reported uses of the instrument has become clear. It is quite clear that the rising prosperity does not make people feel more content.
The United Kingdom is a constitutional monarchy and parliamentary democracy. We will discuss these two pictures in next lecture. We are not going to accept the assignment after the due date on Friday. The student welfare officer can help with questions about exam techniques. The English word typhoon comes from the Chinese word big wind. Please hand in assignments at the main office. I'll start with a brief history of the district and then focus on life in the first half of the 20th century. During the next few centuries, London became one of the most powerful and prosperous cities in Europe. A lot of agricultural workers came to the East End to look for alternative work. Knife and fork should be placed next to the spoon on the edge of the table.
This part of the story is the story of my father. Make sure you correctly cite all your sources. People see ads on the internet, on TV, and in magazines. There are many good methods that can be used. Extra seminars will be scheduled to assist you with revision. There are several reasons for population growth, such as better education. I can't afford to take a gap year unless I can get a job and save up. Feelings of nerves are common to all university freshers. An increase in population will result in fewer resources.